Hi guys, welcome to the Fight Age channel. American boxing expert, former world champion in 2 categories Paul Malignaggi, in an interview with the British media expressed his opinion about the British ex-world heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua. The boxing analyst also commented on Joshua's future rematch with his abuser, the United IBF, WBA, WBO champion Ukrainian Alexander Usyk. Recall that on September 25 in London, Usyk defeated the British champion by unanimous decision of the judges. The fighter's rematch is expected in the spring. Joshua lost to Usyk a couple of months ago. A lot of people say he shouldn't have boxed with a boxer. What changes should he make? Does he need to go to America and look for a second coach to help him? Anthony can rebuild in a rematch, Malignaggi said. We will see. From what I saw in the first fight, I will say that he needs to make a lot of changes. Before the first fight, I chose Joshua because he's big for Usyk, but in fact, what I saw in the fight made me realize that he needs to make a lot of changes. It was difficult for me to choose Joshua as the winner in the second fight. However, I would like to see him a little more in the role of a heavyweight and show Usyk what the heavyweight division is. Let's not forget that Chisora pressed him at the beginning of the fight with Usyk, and Usyk really had to adapt before he started dominating. Joshua is bigger and younger than Chisora, therefore he can do more and with more energy. It's possible. It should also be taken into account that Usyk has not grown more in the heavyweight division. He has excellent legs for this weight. He is no longer a newcomer to heavyweight, not the same as he fought Chisora. I still want Joshua to show Usyk what the heavyweight division is, playing the role of a heavyweight. Usyk is a super skilled fighter. There is no need to turn the fight into a contest of skill, but you need to have a skillful fight, because after all, this is world-class boxing. You need to know how to combine physical qualities, balance them correctly. There must be a root Joshua. I will never forget when he fought Klitschko. He was a tough guy. Even when he fell, he didn't give up. He still chased his opponent and eventually knocked him out. So I hope to see that Joshua again. I don't know if it exists. You know, when you earn hundreds of millions of dollars, pounds or whatever you have here, it's hard to remain the same top fighter. We will see. Even Marvin Hagler said, it's hard to get out of bed in the morning for a run when you are wearing silk pajamas. It's hard to stay as tough when you have nothing to be upset about when you have so much money, right? I would like Usyk to show himself as well, so that we could see the best in their performance. We will see. Malignaggi said. British top heavyweight Tyson Fury is still not against fighting Anthony Joshua in the derby, but in order not to completely waste this still quite profitable option, he advises his compatriot to step aside and allow him to combine all the belts with IBF, WBA and WBO champion Alexander Usyk. In September, Usyk defeated Joshua. The reason applied an immediate rematch clause. Their second fight is scheduled for the first quarter of 2022. I would rather he just let me fight with Usyk, because if Joshua goes up against him again and loses, and I think he will, our fight will be dead, Fury said. You can't lose 2 fights in a row and then get a massive fight for the world heavyweight title, says the WBC champion. But if he lets me fight Usyk, I'll beat Usyk and then go up against Joshua, and I will also beat him. After that, I can't just send everything to hell, retire and let them already fight for their belts, Tyson Fury said in an interview. Recall that Fury's next fight is scheduled to take place no later than in March. So far, only 2 options have been announced: temporary WBC champion Dillian Whyte and Olympic silver medalist prospect Joe Joyce, but Fury doesn't name any of them. Well, listen, I'm only interested in fights with Usyk or Joshua. We will see, he summed up. The former contender for the world heavyweight titles, Bulgarian Kubrat Pulev, in an interview with American media, commented on the last trilogy between British WBC champion Tyson Fury and ex-champion from USA Deontay Wilder, as well as the duel of Ukrainian Alexander Usyk against the United champion from Britain Anthony Joshua. In addition, Kubrat spoke about the upcoming rematch of Usyk-Joshua and the Briton himself. I want to hear your opinion about the last third fight of Wilder against Fury. We saw Fury come out victorious again. How you see this fight? Yes, I was at this fight, Pulev said. Technically, the fight wasn't that good, but this heavyweight division is a completely different weight. The fight was more like a street fight without any special technique here, but Tyson Fury showed that he is better than Wilder. I also saw that his psychology is not so smooth. We also saw Joshua against Usyk a few months ago. Yes, Usyk rose from the cruiserweight. He did well against Joshua. What do you think about this performance at all? Before I got into a fight with Joshua, I told everyone that Joshua was nothing special, Pulev said. He is just well prepared, that's all. He is nothing special about himself personally, technically, and he's not as much of a talent as people say. Usyk, I think the boxer is better. They are now organizing a rematch, in which I think Usyk will knock him out. Knocks out in a rematch? That's for sure, Pulev said. This is a duel that everyone wants to see. I think it will take place. My forecast for this fight is that Usyk will win, Kubrat says. I'm telling you, he's going to knock him out because Joshua is nothing. When I fought him, I wasn't well prepared. I was after COVID. A week before the fight, I was after COVID. I haven't sparred, I haven't done many things. We only worked with one sparring partner who had COVID before, and he couldn't catch it again. That's why I only worked with one sparring partner and wasn't so well prepared. But it doesn't matter. I am a soldier, I went out and fought, and I wasn't that bad. But Joshua was nothing special. If we see Joshua fight against Tyson Fury, how will this fight end? First of all, he needs to have a rematch against Usyk, and I think he's not that strong psychologically, Pulev said. Former world heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua does not give a clear answer to the question whether he will take compensation money, so that his abuser Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury can determine the absolute champion of the division in the spring. At this stage of my career, it's not about money anymore, it's about respect, Anthony told. You don't have to love me, but you will respect me. I also need to be known as a real fighter, someone who's ready to fight with the best. That's why I'll fight anyone. It will be part of my legacy, the best resume, the best heavyweight champion, 3-time champion. That's where a real fighter is. According to Joshua, a temporary departure from the rematch with Usyk does not agree with what I stand for from a moral point of view. However, but being completely honest, I also want to be known as one of the smartest businessmen in our business. So if the money is right, we should consider it, but still respect has a much greater value for me than just money, Anthony said. Then he ranked the points that were important to him. The first, respect, the second, legacy, the third, be a smart businessman. Will I take the money to step aside if it's a smart business move? How will this affect my reputation and respect for me? Will I be able to fight with the best after that? The Briton argues unresponsibly. I have to take these 3 things into account in my career, Joshua said. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel.